Hi friends, this is Ramana. Today I will show demo on select into and insert into statements in SQL. Select into is basically copy the data or schema from old table to new table, whereas insert the data into the new table from the old one. So we will see one after another, and I will show what is the difference between these two statements. So this is my table name sample data which is under my sample database. It contains 25,000 records, 5 columns: ID, first name, last name, email, and gender. I am implementing this select into statement in this table. Select star into. So we will provide the new table name here. I am creating sample new data from sample data. Sample data is already existing, and I want to insert the insert whole star means including all columns into this table to new table from old one. So if you run this one, you might get all 25,000 rows. So you will get exact table and including the schema and the data. Everything will be same, new table and old table. So if you want to select only schema without having any data, then there is a it is also possible to create table table schema without creating the without having the data. So first I am dropping this table, drop table, new sample data. I want to create only schema. That means the structure of the table, column names and data types only. Not I don't want the data. For that, the same statement will work, but including you need to add one more where condition here. You have to provide one false condition. So I am providing 1 is equal to 0. This is basically false statement. If you uh, if you run this system query, table will created but with empty data. There is no data exists in the new table. Only table structure will be there. See, ID, first name, last name, email, and gender. Only structure will be created without having any data. So this is how the select statement will work. So if you don't want to select instead of star, you you want to select only particular columns, then you have to mention the required columns instead of star. So I want only first name and last name, ID, last underscore name and ID. First I am dropping this table, drop table, this one, select. So if you run this query, new table will created sample new underscore data with only these 3 columns, not having 5 columns. So if you run execute this, so 25,000 are loaded, but only few columns. That is select star, only few columns. We don't see any uh, other 2 columns, that is email and gender. So this is how the SQL select into statement will work. Now we will see how the insert into statement will work. I am dropping this table again. Drop. So there is no sample new data now. Now I want to insert. I am showing how insert into statement will work. So insert into. I am taking the select sample new data. Select star from sample data. So if you run this query, your query will not execute. So it shows invalid object name. That means sample new data is not existing. That means what it means. We can insert the data only after when the table is having exist in the database only. We can insert. So for that, I am again making an insert statement here. Select into this table from sample data where 1 is equal to 0. So there is no data. There is no data in the sample new data except the structure of the table. So I want to insert, but I want to insert all data from old data to sample new data. So insert into this this in this table where currently there is no data, only table structure is there. Select from this table. 25,000 records are included. Sample new data, 25,000 records are loaded. So then, thus means insert into statement will work only when table exists in the database. Now, I don't want all these things. I want only few tables, just like what we see in the uh, select into statement. Again, I am dropping the table and creating this table structure. Now, in this table, we don't have any data right now. Just structure is remaining. So I want to only specific columns, ID, first name, last name, as we did in earlier example. For that, I am taking select star into. I have mentioned the column names here. ID, comma, first name, comma, last name. I want the data from these three columns. If you want to, if you specify the specific column, you have to specify in the select from the whole table as well. So I am using this same columns here. Insert first name, last name. So here table is currently there is no data. I want to insert the data from these three columns from the old data, old table. So I am executing this. So data is loaded, 25,000 records. If you see the data, remaining two columns will appear as null. In earlier example in select into statement, only those data will loaded. Only three columns data is there without having other two tables. Now in insert data, insert into statement, while applying the insert into statement, it will take the structure from 25,000 rows, but it will insert the data of the required three columns only. So remaining two columns appear as a null value. So whenever if you want only particular data, particular columns data without having other, you have to first create the table and load the data, insert it by using the insert into statement of the required columns. Afterwards you have to alter the table again. Alter table, alter table, table name, drop column, drop drop column. The column name is email, comma, gender. If you run this one, so and select the data again, select the table again, select star from, so it will appear only 25,000 records of the data for required columns, ID, first name, last name. Only three columns data will be loaded, and remaining two columns we have dropped as per your requirement. So this is how you need to use the insert into statement and select into statement. Now I will see that I will make the differences one after another. This one is, it will create the table along with data or schema, and it is not, and in this case in a insert to statement it cannot insert the data, cannot insert the data when there is no table exists. So it can insert the data only when there is a table in the database, table in database. And second one, when you want to select the table, when you want to select required columns, it will select, it will create as per the required columns, but not all, but not all. And in this case, it cannot, it can create, it can insert data for required columns, but remaining columns shown as shown with null value. These are the two differences for select into and insert into statement. So you need to careful while selecting the required columns and creating the and applying the insert statement, insert into statement. So thanks for watching the video. Thank you very much.